Hello there everyone, and welcome back. We had our loss finally with a streak going on, and then we had a really underwhelming match with Space Marines. And god, I kind of wish the Chaos match that I tried to sneak in there went to its full duration. Stupid computer crash, I'm not sure why I exactly did that and it's irritating. But everything's been looking good so far, so we're gonna try and keep this going. Get us some real matches in, not these underwhelming ones. Not these lackluster ones. We need some real challenge if we're going to try and learn to get the most out of this Custodian and get some levels in on the Bastion Stronghold. Although, if the matches are too difficult, it's more than likely they're going to get destroyed throughout the bout, so I gotta be careful what I wish for, don't I? But hey, it's an incredibly fast queue, so at least I'm not going to be overpowering my opponent, so it should be even match. And it's a mirror match, so... And this is going to be different. Data recovery. Ooh, excuse me. This is going to be a data recovery, which is almost a suicide attempt for Tau due to the lack of lightning strikes, unless I want to squeeze in a stronghold, which is something he would probably do if he's going the standard Custodian stronghold route. Otherwise, you don't want to be that close, and especially showing your side to your opponent if you're going to be trying to steal the data, so I want to assume he's going to try to go straight for the killing blow, as it were. And I'm not referring to Monka. I think he's just going to attempt to kill my Custodian as quickly as possible unless an opportunity presents itself. So, it begs the question, is this the right fleet to field for that? Because the two Sauces could do a crap ton of damage if they're not facing the adaptive deflector. Because after all the railguns they have on there, mind you, these are double railguns, not like the single ones that the Protector has, so their railguns can do an amazing burst punch, but not much else. They do have the Seeker missiles to kind of help overwhelm, but if he does have a Custodian, if he does have a Bastion, they're more than likely not going to get their hits in until those fighters are brought down. I think it's a safe assumption. Now, begs the question, if I'm going to receive him, how exactly be the best way to do it? Almost just sit myself like a turret a little bit, if it's at all possible. Although if I sit there and put the Sauces here, that would be a little difficult to do, because he's going to fly right into the Sauces. So I kind of want to be over here. At least the Sauces have a little more breathing room to hide and not get detected early on. And then we're just going to go all out on defenses here. Castellan has the extended defensive range. Messenger is pretty damn important for the Sauces. And I would love a single Warden at least to help complement the additional defenses, but I don't know if it's enough on its own to justify it. So, this is my plan. This Custodian is not budging from this spot. It's got its flanks covered relatively well as a result. So we are going to see how this goes. Group 1, Group 2. Without a doubt, he's just Seeker missiling everything down. So we got 2 Sauces, I think. And that looks like a Custodian. Or it could very well be something else with the number of ships he has. Yeah, he could be going the same fleet I am. That's fine. I'm just hopeful my Castellans and that are in the best position possible to provide protection while not being vulnerable to my Custodian when it starts engaging. And I might as well burn retros, that would be kind of handy. Let him get in close, let him do the damage. This is going to be underwhelming. I just want to get as much time as possible for his Castellan and all that, because yeah, the missiles are starting to get relatively close. And quite frankly, I don't want to have easy hits on these things either. Well, actually, that may not be a bad thing, quite frankly, if I were to do that. Yeah, he's not okay, he's just now starting to budge, so... Oh, I saw I set them to burn retros, so... Give them a moment, they'll be in position. But Custodian is handling the Seeker missiles well. It's just a question of what happens once the fighters and bombers start coming. Because this is the perfect bait. This is the perfect bait for like a Monka style strategy if I understand my Tau lore enough.
The ethereals guide us.
They come in for the kill on the custodian. I gotta be mindful of sensor range because I don't want these things getting revealed prematurely. Especially when they're not ready.
We serve the Corvacha.
Keep firing those missiles. Let's see what it's doing for you.
We serve the Corvacha.
This is... No, this is not with the extended sensors.
Ready.
That's fine. If he sees them, I'm just gonna hide again. It may have been too obvious, but hell. I'm okay with this.
How may I serve the Tauva?
I can easily hide. His missiles aren't gonna do crap. Although he is gonna do some damage. I should have prepared for that because I am air cache, quite frankly.
The optimal combat speed.
There.
The ethereals guide us.
So I only have 20 seconds. There's nothing exciting here.
Ready for orders.
He doesn't want to commit to this fight.
Strike the killing blow.
No, just start firing. If I could kill something, that's great, but I'm going to try and preserve my fleet for the sake of experience. And does he have adaptive? No, he does not have adaptive. For some reason, he just has extended shields. I'm not interested in the renown. And when I boost, I have a reduced accuracy. Oh, looks like I'm just going to murder him anyway, quite frankly. I just got to make sure that's the priority.
Ready for orders.
Yep, just keep boosting. That reduces the accuracy nicely.
Disengaging pure tide command link.
If this thing gets out, we are golden.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
Yep, that was another underwhelming match. But all my ships are preserved, which is the main thing that matters to me. And we almost wrecked the Sauce in the process, so... kind of a win for me. If I really want to, I could have maybe done a silent run and reposition myself to somewhere more useful. Especially since I knew the Custodian was way in the back, so I could have just really started chipping down his fleet if I wanted to get more aggressive. That would have definitely made things more interesting, because I could have killed a couple of his frigates and potentially his Sauces due to the lack of adaptive deflector. So I could have chipped them down and killed them with relatively good ease with the Custodian supporting, if I placed myself right. Although with no Nebula Cloud, he would see that coming as soon as my silent running deactivated, so... underwhelming, like I said. Ooh, level 8. We finally got our first level 8, and now... begs the question, how the hell do I want to advance this fleet? Because I got a couple upgrades available to me. The Earth Cache Engineer for the extra repairs, although with the way I'm upgrading these ships, I don't think their health is a huge issue unless I'm fighting Chaos. Because they're the only ones that probably can outrange me, and then I'm gonna wish I had Earth Cache Engineers for that. Marker drones can be useful. I don't know. I said in the first few episodes, I don't know how reliable these are to crit in comparison to other weaponry, because it is a flat 1% chance. But if these things are doing damage, that's probably the route to take. And now begs the question, how do I enhance the potential of the ship? There's Stout Alloy for like ambushing and not making it as isolate it until it gets detected anyway. I want to extend the ion cannons to at least be on par with the railguns. I think that's the easy way, but to be fair, I was kind of contemplating switching out the belt armor, because as I was saying before, this is trying to avoid direct combat, confrontation due to the fact that it's not nearly as durable as my other ships, so I'm kind of wondering if I should get rid of the belt armor now. And I don't know about extending the railgun range, although that sounds like a good idea. Maybe I'll consider that when I actually get my protectors and other ships with the extended range. But as it stands now, My ion cannons are now at the exact same range as my railguns, so it's going to be able to unload its entire barrage on anything that's at 9,000 units, or 12,000 if I can lock on. And those ion cannons are really nice because they're always going to hit, even at that extreme range. I just should not rely on them to do all the work for me. Although they're going to be doing like constant damage with their shorter rate of fire at least, so they at least gives me something to finish off a ship that has almost no health left, but I'm either facing off against its prow or it's heavily armored to begin with, like a Space Marine ship. So hopefully I don't have to rely on bombers or wasting a bunch of cooldowns to try and kill something that's already limping. Ideally. Of course, it's not going to do much against Eldar, but eventually it will start chipping them down, even with an 80% chance for the lances not even to hit. So it's still going to do something worthwhile there, if barely noticeable one. Now, Chaos. I was robbed of this last time. We have a data recovery. This is going to be interesting because I'm going to have one ship that's always going to be exposed, so it's going to be really easy for it to get focused down, and I don't know how I feel about that. So, do I go again with the Custodian? Use it like the Monka style to bait? Because he has no 75 armor, I just lack the range. Is the big problem with only 9,000 units. Which even then, none of my ships have that potential. This is a hard one to call. I really find this a hard decision because of the fact I am going to be always revealed. So I kind of want to go with lots of repair drones maybe to help negate a lot of that damage. Although this is incredibly top heavy, but 3 repair drones doesn't sound terrible. It doesn't sound good either, but with 3 fighter waves, I have amazing burst potential, and I can also deal with his fighters because I am kind of at his mercy. I don't like this composition. I'm just not comfortable also with the fact that I'm always revealed. So I'm not sure how to play this. The Custodian sounds great though in theory. Its adaptive deflector, its tankiness style that I'm kind of fielding towards it is going to be pointless against that much lances and bombers though. Especially the lances. It can deal with the bombers easily enough on its own, without a doubt. Because after all, how many fighter waves does that thing have? I think fighters are not an issue. Especially if I ever can get to the point where I get an energy shield to give him an extra health point. Guaranteed. It's not going to be like those damn fighter skill traits where you get a chance of negating the damage. And of course my field of view is pretty poor. I don't have a lot to work with here. Although I'm going to have to do like Tao and let him come to me, quite frankly. I don't have much of a choice in that matter. Just got to make sure my positioning is good. Get the best positioning possible, and since I have lock-on, Sauce is actually okay in the back. And make sure repair drones are in the best spot possible, so that way they can repair the capital ship if it does start taking damage.
Carry on. The patient hunter is rewarded with victory. Corel, ready.
Not much I could do. I'm stuck here letting him do the first move. Unless I want to find a better position. Which really, I want to stay near the nebula cloud. I don't want to go in it just yet because it's so easy for him to just put a beacon there. Underwhelming, I have the bait. I just have no way to ambush him due to lack of stealth alloy. Or really just nebula clouds in general. If I had stealth alloy for that last match, and he made that gambit to try and reveal me in the nebula cloud, I could have easily just blindside him so nicely, because he would just then realize I had stealth alloy, and then he wouldn't know exact where the hell I was, and I could just ambush him so quickly. if I could get the positioning and the firepower to justify it. As it stands now, I don't have a lot of choices, but I got a lot of repair drones. This is almost going to seem overpowered and cheesy if I do this right, but he can still overwhelm me. My prow armor is kind of useless in this engagement.
Drones have identified an enemy target.
Now, I have beacons, so if he decides to go in a nebula cloud, I am fine. And I hope the Sausage doesn't hit itself. Now this is going to hurt. I'm hoping. It better hurt. It better hurt like hell.
At your orders, Corporal.
Brace for impact. Shields are about to come down.
Disengaging pure time.
He's got front range weaponry, so let's try and engage this.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
Okay, he made his maneuver. Let's go for it. He's isolated, he's separate. I just gotta make sure I'm hitting the right target. And this is brace for impact, so... Oh, I forgot I had data recovery too. Not it's a huge issue. Not that's a huge issue, I just gotta make sure it dies. And it's just gonna burn to death now it's heavily damaged. I don't even need to engage this thing. This is sad. But then again, he kind of played into my hand a little bit, didn't he? It's his own doing. I hate to break it to you. This is your own damn fault you let this happen. You flew into it, you revealed yourself. You underappreciate the amount of time you had to work with. I think there was a lot of things he could have done better there. Now I just gotta be careful this Sausage does not get murdered horribly. I'm gonna see if I can kill this level 5. It's massive overkill. Okay. He decided to keep fighting. This is on his list of questionable things, of questionable plays, I'm not gonna lie. We're not gonna give him a single kill if I can allow it. I'm sorry folks for the underwhelming matches, but this time it is not my fault. Although it would still be the same play style, and he did kind of burn his warp out, so he's gonna try and escape. Well, that worked. At first I was worried I would not be able to warp out or be able to bore him because he was just on the lip of that, but with his death, it was all fine. It was a bold gambit. Maybe there was some strategy and sense to him. It involved suicide mostly, though. For me, I would have tried to preserve my fleet, if at all possible, but hell, you still gotta try to win, right? That's the only way it makes this video at least entertaining. If the matches are still lackluster. I was a little bit worried about I was a little bit worried about that match still, regardless. Especially since he had prow lances, which doesn't mean much, but running away is definitely not an option if he had at least 2 of those. So I would have to fight him head on if I want to at least have a chance of winning. Otherwise, it'll be just like fighting the Dauntless with the lance, and he's going to keep chipping me down, and I'm not going to get the optimal amount of fire damage returned to him, especially with Imperial Navy due to the 75 armor on the front. Yeah, in my experience, the Dauntlesses are probably the scariest thing for the Tau, at least lower levels. Because of that lance alone. 75 armor with the ability to negate my resist prow, rather, is a huge deal. Oh, and I just realized this is a level 8 protector. So with that said, marker drone or do I actually have these things do the extra repair, get the engineer? Because its main source of damage isn't really its railguns, quite frankly. It's the bombers and the torpedoes. Mainly the bombers, and the bombers won't benefit from that, so I think I could justify going Earth Cache for this. Now, with level 8 though, I can extend the railgun range. And if this protector was the Fiorla with its already 9,000 range ion cannon, it would practically be all set as far as being able to fire full efficiency at 12,000 units, so I was also half contemplating switching out my total crews in exchange for Fiorlas, just because of that. Although the railguns are also nice, but that's something I also been considering, so let's try one more. These have been short matches, underwhelming matches, bit one-sided for the Chaos one, but 3 repair drones help a ton if you even were to try to focus the damage down. That's what, 400 health worth of repairs in a single minute if I were to activate them all at once. Let's see. Well, this one's more 90 repairs if I'm looking at this right, and the repair drones, it doesn't want to show them here. Repair drones, you're for a full minute. A minute and a half, so yeah, that's another 9 health. So it's not quite 400 health. Not unless I have improvements in the Earth Cache Engineer, but it's pretty damn close. So it helps a lot, although the repair drones do take a minute and a half for theirs to take full effect. Still damn good, if I can at least deflect some of the damage, if he is going all out. So, this time's the cruiser clash, this time's the real thing. And I have a level 8 sauce, at least now. If I can keep this level 7 alive, then I at least can give it the ion cannon range as well, which would be really useful in situations where I have to face the prow. But we're going to give this another try. This time, this is a full-on fight. I can't hide in my corner and quiver in fear, waiting for him to make his move. This time, it's anyone's game. Probably not mine though, with the way Tao has been going. Although really, it just comes down to the fact I need to keep in mind, and I'm telling myself this now so I can remember it, is I need to position myself to receive the stronghold. I keep doing wide arcs and keep neglecting that the fact that the stronghold is going to basically micro warp jump on me. So it's incredibly isolated and I don't really have to do a flanking maneuver. I just gotta make sure I'm positioned in the way I hit the side rather than the prow, if the sauces are going to do the damage they want. So with that said, if he was a stronghold, where would he be? Somewhere over here, without a doubt. He can easily get away with the middle one too. So there is that. Messenger for a little bit of support. I would love the Castellan. Well, I can have a Warren over there easily enough. Castellan and a single Warren over here. And 2 more Warrens to hopefully provide some support. So you're going to be group 2. I'm going to use group 1 and you guys are group 3. Let me just regroup these guys as group 2. And we'll give this a try, although I gotta be careful, the Warrens are gonna get too far ahead, so I might as well start back first. So that way helps a bit.
Kaoyong, the patient hunter is rewarded with victory.
Let's see, 8 ships, so
At your orders, Koro.
I did group you all group 1, right? Yeah, it's probably because I redeployed it.
Drive engaged.
So 8 ships, what does that tell me? It doesn't really tell me a whole lot, because I got 5, 6, 7, I have 8 as well.
We serve the Kovatra.
I wonder, I haven't really paid attention that much, but this could very well be the same person, right? Well, the fact that he has a bunch of stuff alloys suggests it's not, but then again, I wasn't paying attention to how close he could deploy that Nebula Cloud.
At your orders, Koro.
So I gotta be mindful of that. I'm kind of...
Tauva shall prosper.
I don't really get much of engagement options here.
How may I serve the Tauva?
I gotta let him make the first move, and that's not promising. And I have to question, what kind of ship is this? Okay, that's the stronghold. That's my priority regardless. Well, stronghold or it could be a bastion, but he tells me much with that. Also,
Ready.
let me launch my fighters. That might be a good idea.
For Onva, it will be so.
That would be a good idea if I remember that, because that's going to play such an important part in this. His other ships could be anywhere around that, though. Hell, he could have an extra bastion. I want to say that's a stronghold, though. So, without a doubt, he does not have a custodian, just because the points would not allow for it, and you are not going in that minefield. I forbid it. I do not allow it. You are not doing it, mister.
To spread the greater good.
You rebellious warden. I know I'm Farsight Enclave, but that does not give you reasoning
Imperials guide us.
to do that. So I've been identified.
Pure tide engrams online.
I would kind of like to just beacon down. Stupid idea, but it limits his mobility. How did I get identified anyway? I have I don't have extended sensors, that's
How may I
why.
serve the Tauva?
That's why.
We serve the
And
Quatra.
that looks like protectors. Just kill this messenger. And I know there's a ship over there.
Correct. Ready.
Just gotta make sure the prow absorbs as much damage as possible while I kill this thing.
As the Ethereals wish.
Not ideal engagement.
Your orders, Koro.
And that's only 50 damage there. Come on, can my custodian support that? Okay, got rid of all but 2.
Gravitic drive engaged.
So he's giving me kills, frigate kills.
Fast, ready for
It's
orders.
not saying much just yet, but I can disengage until he micro warp jumps.
How may I serve the Tauva? For Onva, it will be so.
This is not the engagement I want, but if he's gonna get in close, let me try and support.
Teachings guide our fire. At your orders, Koro.
I got the 12,000 unit range. I just gotta remember for that. Pay a damn close attention to that micro warp jump,
Weapons hot.
because he does have a charge on that thing.
Ethereals guide us.
Okay, it's pretty much dead anyway. I just gotta refresh fighters in a moment, because he is gonna shoot those fighters down. Okay, boost out.
Tauva shall prosper.
Okay, brace for impact.
Pure tide engrams online.
I kind of want to micro warp jump because he is about to stronghold and he's about to.
Disengaging pure tide commando.
I just hate it. I just hate that thing turns off my burn retros when I try and do that though. That's a little irritating.
The good.
Oop, but I got a perfect opportunity to hit this thing. Secret missiles are not going to be optimal. And since it's so close, I might as well just bomb it to death. Hit it with the prow, get a better position here. And yeah, that did a lot of damage.
Systems taking heavy damage.
Frigate down. This is looking promising now.
We serve the Kovat.
And he's already bailing. So,
Aircraft ready for
I'll let him have his, I'll let him have his, oh, he micro warp jump. He can't warp out anyway, so he doesn't have a choice. I was gonna let him have his stronghold, but micro warp jump does not allow that. Does not allow it at all. So that was solid. It wasn't a custodian though, so I can't brag it was an improvement. I did better focusing down the damage, mind you. It's just a question of whether or not I was negating the prow with the sauces. At least one of them I want to say was hitting the side and then thus doing his full damage. But it could be entirely possible he didn't even have adapted deflector. Which of course would have meant his death anyway if he was going to just fight me head on. And Custodian's level 5, perfect. With still a ways to go for my sauce gain is level 8. And I have been using these sauces a lot. So I'm going to have to consider switching over to the Daleth. And more importantly, my sauce with the Stout alloy. Because I would love to get that level 8 and it's only going to need like 2 matches for that. So that's not a terrible idea. Daleth though is kind of lacking. I need to either put it back with the Custodian and try figuring that setup out, or use it more for other matchups and avoid using Tau altogether. But nonetheless, I want to upgrade my fighters, although defensive shield's really what I need if I'm gonna get the full value out of my defensive fighters anyway. For bombers, considering there's only 3 fighters, it just makes it a regular squadron in terms of health, so really, it's just even the odds there. But for defense, that would be ridiculous. Until they get close to me with their strongholds, as they like to do.